know the audio on this is going to suck, but I just want to get a picture of this real quick, because you don't see this in Florida very often. I think I got my camera out here maybe a little late, but if you look on the ground, can you see it right there? It's still doing it. It's hailing. I've come down here for a lot of years and I've never seen hail. See it on that bag? Get out there on the hail. I don't want to walk out there with this raining pretty hard. Like I say, I apologize for the audio. My other camera didn't have a video card in it, and I didn't want to take time out because I knew this hail was probably going to quit any minute, so I grabbed my GoPro, which is my grab and go camera, and it doesn't have the external mic on it right now, so I know the audio probably sounds a little funky. Okay, looks like the hail's over with. I don't know how I'm going to dub this into a video, but somewhere along the line I'll get this in a video for you. Here's some hail here. See it? Oh, by the time I said it ain't hail no more, here it comes. Oh yeah. Oh, it's coming in the garage. I'm going to have to shut the door. Wow. It's almost a historical event. Wow, that's weird. Something I thought we left behind in Indiana, hailstorms. Perhaps in the garage. Can you see it on the rug? Alright, I'm going to get out of here. I hope the audio comes out halfway decent anyway.
Okay, question and answer day, Wednesday. That video about the hailstorm was kind of weird. You just don't see that in Florida very often. In Indiana, we see hail like that. We would think tornado, funnel clouds somewhere. You know, that's what causes most of hailstorms. So, seeing that, I had my eyes open in the clouds. I didn't see anything, but apparently there was some funnel clouds in the Tampa area, so they may have worked their way over here. Don't know. It was kind of weird. Paul Bruger had a question about Village's ID privileges. Says he knew that at the movie theater with your Village's ID you would get a little discount to buy tickets to go see a movie, and that's true. It's not much, like $1 or something. I can only tell you things that I know. I know that there's some restaurants outside of the bubble, so to speak, not in the Villages, that if you show them your Village's ID, they will give you a discount on your meal. One of them is Panda. It's a kind of a fast food restaurant. I think everybody knows what Panda is. It's over by Home Depot. And I go there every now and then to have lunch. And if you show them your Village's ID there, they'll give you a 10% discount on that meal, on that resident ID. If you go with your wife and you only show them one ID, you're only going to get a discount for one meal. Your wife would have to show her ID also to get a discount on her meal. And there's other restaurants around that'll do that. I don't know if any of the stores would give you a discount or anything like that. I just don't know because I don't shop. But the main thing with your Village's ID is for the privileges inside the Villages. One is, if you're a Village's got an ID, a resident ID, you can buy the priority membership. Only Village residents can buy the priority membership. And you can also buy the priority pool membership and some other stuff. Your Village's ID gives you access to the rec centers, the swimming pools, because they'll go through there every now and then, and they have a scanner card and they check your IDs. It gives you access to the executive golf courses here, which they are not open to the public at all. They're closed to village residents and their guests. And their guest has to have their guest pass. So that's basically what it's for. But yes, there are some businesses around the villages that's trying to entice some villager residents to come to their place of business and spend money. And so they'll give you a little bit of a discount. But most of these places do not advertise that. You just have to know. So I've just kind of gotten into the habit that when I go to a restaurant or whatever, I just ask, do you guys give villagers any kind of a discount? And some will tell you no. And some will tell you, you know, that sure, yeah, we do. But if you don't ask, they don't put a sign up, you know, or anything like that. So I heard about Panda, and so when I went there this last time, I asked them, and they said, "Ow, they do, but you got to show it to them, and then they give you that discount." But sure, just ask. And what else was it? Question. Kimberly Davis wanting to know if there's any flooding around any of the water areas. In the very old sections up north, where the house trailers used to be and where modular homes are at, the historical side, so to speak, I think there was, during the hurricane, there was maybe some minor flooding up there. And but down here in the southern parts, I'll say from, say, 466 south, which would be, say, the Lake Sumter area and the Brownwood area, and probably all the way down to the Finney area, the design changes from the mistakes that they may have made in the older area has eliminated almost everything anymore. So yeah, we stayed here during the hurricane, and we had a lot of rain and a lot of wind. Absolutely no flooding at all. No property was flooded, no streets were flooded. We didn't even lose electricity. I know that kind of shocked me too, but we didn't even lose electricity here. And I'm in the Hillsboro area, which is down by Brownwood. The way it's set up is that we have retention ponds, and they take advantage of the natural swamps, and a lot of our water runs off the street and whatever and drains into those retention ponds and swamps. And if those get full, then that runs off, and the golf courses are the flood area. So all the water would go into the golf courses and flood them. And it keeps the water out of the streets and out of the, the roadways. So that's how it works. And down to Finney area is the same way. If you go into the Finney area and go down to the Regional Rec Center, which is once you go through the gate to the right, that's the Regional Rec Center. I don't know what it's called. You'll notice you're at the bottom of a hole. If you'll stop and look around, everything is kind of above you at that point. That's the flood area. So during hurricanes and things of that nature, it's going to go down in that flood area, flood all of that. The golf courses, they got 2 of them down there, executive golf courses. It'll flood all of that, leaving the high ground where the houses are at, basically, free of water. So we haven't never seen any flooding of any kind down here, not in the streets or around your houses or anything. And I don't think we ever will. That was from Bruce and Pam. I hope that answers your question. Somebody else was asking about, they were confused, I forget who it was, about they were looking in the village's website about buying a house, and they say that they see where it'll mention Lake Sumter Landing, but then he said they'll say that, but the neighborhood will have a different name, and they don't understand what's going on there. It's really not that. We have basically 3 town squares, or you can say we have 3 town centers where there's shopping and restaurants, and in that center is a square, usually of a city block square, where the music is every night and dancing and so on and so forth, activities. You have Spanish Springs, that's the first town square. And you have Lake Sumter, that's the second town square. And then you have Brownwood, that's the third town square. Around, let's use Spanish Springs for an example, there are neighborhoods. And these neighborhoods have names. They call them the village of. The village of, the village of. So you'll have the village of, say, Del Mar. And you'll have the village of Della Vista. The village of Santiago. The village of Silver Lake. Those villages are all around the Spanish Springs town center or square area. And when you come on down to, say, Lake Sumter town center or square, there's neighborhoods positioned around that. One of them would be the village of Virginia Trace, the village of Caroline, the village of Mallory Square, other villages around there. And that's closest to Lake Sumter area. And I'm in Brownwood area, so around here you have the village of Collier, the village of Hillsboro, the village of Lake Deaton, the village of Dunedin, and there's many other villages too. And it kind of gives you an area that you're in that's around the Brownwood area. Finney area down there don't have a square yet. They haven't never announced a square where it's going to be. They have announced there is going to be an entertainment area. They never have announced where it's going to be yet. There's a lot of rumors going around saying, oh, I know where it's going to be. Oh, I know where it's going to be. Well, they don't really know where it's going to be. And I don't even think the real estate people know where it's going to be. That's a developer thing, and he's kept it quiet this time. So we don't know where it's going to be. As soon as I find out, I'll let you know. I'd like to know myself. So nobody knows where it's going to be, but there is going to be one down there. It'd just be interesting to find out when. So anyway, I hope that explains how the neighborhood things kind of work. And seems to me, I had another. Oh, somebody asked me about the grass here. We have zoysia in District 10. That's where I'm at. And zoysia grass, it's okay, I suppose, but it just doesn't really want to grow down here. They planted zoysia grass in District 10 because it's a water-saving kind of grass. It doesn't take much water for it to grow. And that may be true, but the zoysia takes a lot of work. It just does. It takes a lot of work, a lot of know-how, and in the wintertime it goes dormant, so we don't really have to mow at all in the wintertime. That part I like. But it just doesn't really look all that good, I don't think. It's just too hard to take care of. The smallest amount of weed killer to kill the weeds in the grass kills everything. And then you can't hardly get the zoysia to come back from that. It's just hard. The grass that really wants to grow down here, and I'm not saying it's the best grass in the world, but the grass that really wants to grow down here is St. Augustine. That's what they went back to when they went down to the Finney areas. Everybody's got St. Augustine grass. I don't know all the ins and outs about St. Augustine. So somebody asked me, says, well, can't you just cut that grass out and replace it with St. Augustine? I didn't think you could, because everybody here has zoysia, and that's part of the district rules. And so I sent a letter to the district office. I'm not going to give the lady's name that answered me, but she works at the district's office. And let me read it to you. It says, this is me sending the letter to the district office for District 10. I says, I live in District 10, Section 216, Hillsboro. Can I have the zoysia grass taken up and replaced with St. Augustine grass? Thank you, Skip. That's my letter to her. Here's her answer. Yes, if you are replacing sod for sod, you can certainly do that without going through the ARC for approval. Please keep in mind that it must be sod for sod in all the existing sodded areas. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. That's news to me. Didn't know that, but now I know. Sod for sod means in my property line square, everything in here has to be taken up. And everything would have to be replaced with St. Augustine grass if I did this. I can't replace some small area with a little bit of different grass. It has to be, everything has to be taken up and replaced. And so now I know that. And so that was interesting. Am I going to do it? I don't know. That just seems like an awful lot of work for a little bit of grass, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Probably not. It all depends on how bad it gets. If it starts getting bad to the point where it's starting to look really shabby, then yeah, I'll probably just have it taken up and something put in. But for right now, I'm not going to do anything. I got other things to worry about. So, hope you enjoyed the little short video of the hailstorm. I just thought that was kind of weird. I've never seen that here before. Hope that answered a few questions for everybody. And so, with that, I'm just going to say, hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have a great 2019. And like I've always said, I'll see you on the other side.